Hey guys, and welcome to my April wrap-up. This month I did not read quite as many books as I have in the previous 2 months, but I still have read quite a bit. Now let me tell you what books I read. The first 3 books I read were Defiance, Deception, and Deliverance by C.J. Redwin. When I picked up the first book, Deception, about 4 years ago in a discount bookshop, I was really excited because it looked like a new fantasy series for young adults and it just looked really cool. Let me just tell you what I found out. It is dystopian. Shouldn't have been surprised because dystopians were all the rage about 4 years ago. So let me tell you the premise of these books, because they weren't like terrible books. They're just not what I wanted to read right now. I'm only going to tell you the plot of Deception because this is the first book. This book is told in a dual perspective about a girl called Rachel and a boy called Logan who grew up in a city in the middle of a forest who are protected by the commander. And the commander is the only thing keeping the people in this little city in the forest safe from the Cursed One, which is a dragon type creature that burrows up from the ground. That sounds cool, right? That sounds interesting. But the thing was, none of these elements were a huge part of the book. It followed a typical dystopian plotline. It had a lot of cool things going for it, but it just didn't use them to its advantage. Saying that, they weren't bad books. They just were more dystopian than fantasy, and I was disappointed by that. In the second 2 books, it follows a very conventional, distinct dystopian plotline, and there's just very little fantasy in the second 2 books at all. I think overall I'd give this series maybe a 2.5, maybe 3 stars out of 5. Not a favorite of mine. Next and last book I'm going to show you is the one that I'm currently reading / listening to. I'm listening to it on Audible and also reading the physical book, and that is The Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens. Yes, I'm getting through another Dickens book this year. I'm very excited. I'm sure if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that this has been on my shelf for the longest time. And honestly, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. So what The Pickwick Papers is actually about is about this club called the Pickwick Club, led by Mr. Pickwick, and it is about this club that go on adventures that are silly and funny, and they kind of tell these stories to each other, and it's kind of gathered together and held together by that narrative. And while it's funny and silly, it's just not funny enough or silly enough. I don't know, maybe that's just because I'm only 250 pages in. Only 250 pages in. There's 800 pages, so you know, not that far in the grand scheme of things. Feels like I've read a lot, but there's more to go. Honestly, what I like most about this is how much it's making me feel like I'm actually accomplishing something, because this has been on my shelves for so long that I want to finish it just to get it finished. And that's kind of it. So here are the books that I have read / am reading this month. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite book was that you read this month. I don't think I've had a favorite book I read this month. Honestly, the books I read this month, I don't think that they would even make it to my favorite list. But let me know if you read anything good this month. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.